First and foremost, what a turnover. What an incredible college basketball game. I want to give a big shout out to our fans, especially the students that showed up in the Oakland Zoo. For us to not be in school and no students here, it was an unbelievable turnout. We felt their energy. We needed their energy, and we fed off their energy. So, really, really thankful for that. Want to wish our football team good luck today. Hopefully we can be 2-0 today, and wish them great luck against UCLA. Really proud of my team. We fought for 40 minutes. We knew that they were playing really, really well right now. They're as talented as any team in the country. But we fought. We got down early, but we stayed together. We stayed fighting. We got unbelievable contributions from guys on our bench. And then these two guys beside me were incredible all night. Obviously, Blake made some plays down the stretch. I think he scored 7 of our last 9. And then Jamarius was unbelievable throughout the whole game. We rode him. He carried us. He made big plays. He defended. Just an unbelievable performance by these two guys, but just as important, unbelievable performance by our whole team. Guys stepped up and made big plays. I'd be remiss if I didn't say this. I thought a guy that really stepped up and kind of turned the game around for us was Nike Sabande. His energy, he's a guy that didn't play much last game. I knew that he would be important for us today. And his energy, his driving, his passion, his finishing, his passing, all of those things were huge plays for us. He had a 2-play stretch where he drove it, drew contact, hit Nelly. Nelly hits a 3, then he comes down and he drives it again, and he gets fouled and scores, I should say. And that got the crowd into it. It got us going. And so, just really proud of him for staying with it. And so I'll turn it over to these guys, and I'll catch you on the end.
Obviously, in a game like that, Coach talks about mental toughness. You knew every possession they were going to Baycott, and you knew offensively you guys were kind of struggling with threes. How do you guys kind of overcome some of those things and just kind of find a way to win?
Yeah, for us, we just try to stay even keel. They went on some big runs. Baycott was off to a hot start. He was dominating down in the post. And for us, we just, tried to stay even keel, stay locked in, and understand that there's other ways to win at a basketball game besides knocking down threes. And for us, that was locking in on the scouting report and, continuing to fight for one another.
Blake, you were held to about 5 points in the first half. But then you come out, you obviously hit the 3 to give Pitt the lead that you guys would hold the rest of the way. You also, when they had taken a 9-point lead midway through the second, you hit a 3 then that was pretty big. Were you like looking to push yourself more in the second half because you were held to only 5 in the first?
No, I play the same way every time. 5, 10, 0, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to play the same way.
JV, you guys were ice cold from 3 early in the game, but you were still finding ways to stick with it. What were you guys talking about as, you guys have been a shooting team for a lot this year, but still finding ways to compete with a ranked squad?
Yeah, for us, it was just continuing to fight, understanding that they're a lethal team as well. So for us, if we just take care of the basketball, get stops, that we'll get quality shots and they'll start falling. And Coach was preaching that to us all game long. So, we just continue to follow him and understand that shots will fall, and they did for us.
You guys talked about, this team loving to run the fast break, loving to use their speed. You limited to 6 fast break points on the day. What goes into an effort like that?
Yeah, I would just say the emphasis started in practice for us. We knew they were a transition team. We knew how dangerous they was on the open floor. So for us, it was just getting back, identifying the man, understanding that you might not have your guy in transition, but, getting on somebody is very important. And for us, we just tried to make sure that we got back and made them see multiple bodies.
It seems like Baycott started off really hot, but you guys were able to slow him down at least a little bit. Still ended up getting a double-double. But what went into defending him kind of later in the game and as the game went on?
Team defense. You got to guard him with a whole team. He's a really good player.
It seemed like there was, so you've emphasized a lot, communication. You guys did a lot of double teaming and quick switches. There wasn't too many times that with one of those switches that you guys left an open man. What goes into, what went into practice this week to make that sharp?
Just what you said, communicating. That's going to be our word all year. Y'all going to hear me say it a million times because that's what's going to make us good.
You guys held Caleb Love to 7. He came in averaging like 18 points a game, leading the ACC. What did you do against him?
We just tried to put bodies in front of him, make every shot that he took a contested shot, and it worked out for us today.
Mars, have you ever been as hot as that in your life? Is that kind of one of the best games you've ever played?
I mean, in college basketball, yeah, but I just give all the glory to God and just keep it pushing.
Jeff, you've had success against UNC. Jeff, you've had success against UNC here the last few years. Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
Match?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, we've just we've just happened to play well. That's it. It's no secret. It's no anything. We've just fought. We've played hard. We've played success. We've played hungry, and we've had some success. I really don't know. We don't have a secret.
Jeff, you preached a lot about possessing the basketball, valuing the basketball. You guys only had 8 turnovers against a defensive team like this. What do you got to say about your guys?
Really proud of them. I thought our scout team did a really good job of pushing us this week. It's interesting. We were, I think, 10 days from competition, and so you worry about that when you're not competing. And because of some additions in practice, for us this week, we were able to actually practice, to do some 5-on-5, which we really can't do much, especially with some talented guys. So I thought that helped us. They are athletic, they're long, and we did a good job of handling their pressure, getting open, being strong. The things we talked about coming into this game, kind of the keys that we talked about were transition defense, keeping them out of our paint, and that was with their drives, obviously with Baycott, and then rebounding. And I thought the difference in the game was second half. We defended and we rebounded. They had 6 offensive rebounds in the first half. Baycott had 5 of them. They finished with 8, and Baycott finished with 5. I thought that was the difference in the game. In the first half, they were 51%. In the second half, we were 33%. I thought our defense did its job, and then we didn't give up offensive rebounds, and then we were able to go down and get some stuff in transition, and then we really did a great job of executing and really just riding JB.
You always talk about mental toughness, and like I asked them that the final 6 minutes, they're going to Baycott every time. I mean, that's the best big guy in the country, arguably. I mean, what's it say about your team to kind of be in that dogfight and go up against that and keep getting stops?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like they said, it's team defense, and it's a collective group. I mean, Federico did a really good job, of not letting them get deep position. I thought Guillermo came in and gave us really good minutes. He scored a basket. He got 2 rebounds. He did a good job. I thought when we doubled, I thought we did a good job. We forced him into 4 turnovers. I think he had them all in the first half. And so it's a collective effort trying to keep bodies on them and hopefully wear them out a little bit as the game goes on. 37 minutes is a lot of minutes for a big guy, and maybe he got a little bit fatigued at the end.
Jeff, how important was it that you kept the deficit to single digits? I mean, they were up 9 a handful of times.
Yeah.
And how much did that give you guys maybe some hope that the game could get closer very quickly?
That was huge. I mean, they got off, I think it was 8. I think it was 11-3 to start the game when I called the timeout. And, again, I kind of I wouldn't say anticipated that, but we haven't competed. And so I knew that it was going to take a little bit for us to get back into that. And as much as we, practice and tried to simulate, it's hard to simulate their speed and Baycott. And as much as we show film and talk about, the physicality that he plays with and the offensive rebounds, I thought really after the first 5 minutes, we did a really good job of kind of staying with it. They went on a run in the second half. I think someone mentioned Blake hit a big 3 to kind of get us going. The thing I was most proud of is that even though we did not shoot the ball well, which we have the past few games, we still stayed together. We still defended. That's a sign of maturity for our group, because in the past maybe we would have wilted. Even earlier this year, perhaps we would have wilted. But we kept fighting, we stayed together, and we were able to go on some runs of our own.
As you guys continue to form your identity of what this team is, what does that statement say about the veterans that you have on this team to, even when that's not going, you find other ways to win?
Well, that's the key. It's all, everyone just being consumed with winning, period. Everyone being consumed with winning. Like I mentioned, Guillermo didn't play last game. He gave us really good minutes today. Nike didn't play much last game. I thought he was a big catalyst for helping to change the game with his energy, his defense, his drives, and just his energy, that he played with. And so it's everyone. It could be a different guy each night. But guys cheer for each other. They root for each other. They play for each other. And if we can continue to do that, then, hopefully we can continue to have some success.
Give mentioned how it was not your best shooting night or best shooting day, but were you happy with the kind of shots you?
I was. We got really good looks. I mean, it wasn't our best shooting day from three, but overall, we got 46 points in the paint. We were able to drive and get the spots and make some plays there. We'll make those shots going forward. I feel very confident. I thought the majority of them were good shots. There were some that were a little bit rushed, but we'll live with that.
JD has a career best 31 points, but it's the 14 to 17 from the field that kind of stands out. This guy didn't miss many shots. He took a lot of tough.
Yeah, incredibly efficient. Again, he was able to get to his spots. He was able to. That's one thing we thought coming into this game, with their guards, that we could take advantage of JB's size and strength. And again, as the game went on, we just put the ball in his hands and just screamed and just kind of let him go and let him make plays, and he made a lot of them for us.
Can you talk more about what night he did? Because I mean, it wasn't just what he did with some of the baskets, but he had some really important assists and energy he brought for you all.
Just the energy, man. I mean, 3 assists, no turnovers. He was able to drive and get to the basket. He had 2 field goals, made 3 free throws. He rebounded the basketball. I thought his defense. I thought he was an unbelievable teammate, and I thought guys fed off of that. Of that energy that he brings, that he can bring, and that he brought tonight. And just an unbelievable example of always staying ready. That's the main thing, just staying ready. Some nights it may not be your night. You can't put your head down and pout. You got to be ready. Nike had a great week of practice, and I'm not surprised with how he played tonight. This afternoon, I should say.
Carolina's kind of known for their last-second comebacks. How tense was that last?
That was very tense, man. We have to be better in that situation. We were up 4. There was 2.8 seconds left. All we have to do is just get the ball. Like, we have 2 timeouts and it's our arrow. And so when we catch it, they have to foul us. We don't have to dribble. And so we have to be better in that situation because it did become very tense. We turned it over. They got a layup. Then all of a sudden you got to go to, the monitor to see what happens there. Fortunately, we were able to get it in and run the clock out. But it was very tense because they are known for that. I mean, I remember growing up, man, watching them have some unbelievable comebacks when it looked like they were dead in the water. I kept thinking about Ohio State this year. They were in a similar situation, and they were able to send the game into overtime against Ohio State and win the game in overtime. That's what kept going through my mind. Fortunately, that didn't happen.